Life certainly throws educational experiences at you in all different degrees and with lots of different angles. For me, the last 15 months has been about three main things. It's been about marriages, death, and new beginnings, birth. If I think about the marriage aspect, last May I got to marry a wonderful woman called Sophie. And Sophie and I met, getting on for nearly 3 years ago. And as Michael was saying, one of the things that I'm very passionate about is teaching and training NLP. And it was on an NLP practitioner course I really started to focus on what were my values around a relationship. Because I thought, do you know what, I've never actually properly done that before. Now I was really thankful that I had a massive education in the marriage where I actually had a brilliant first practice marriage. And that lasted for 11 years. Probably several years longer than it should have done, but I didn't know a lot about myself at the time. And that was certainly an education. Now moving back home with my parents 6 years ago, back into the bedroom that I used to be when I was a teenager, that was an educational experience. Not one that I thought I'd find myself in, but at 23 stone at the time, single, and with the thought of, do you know what, at the age of 35, this is nowhere near where I thought I would be. I certainly had a lot to contemplate. So thankfully, being able to educate myself about how I work was a lot of what caused me last May to be in this fantastic place, getting married to a wonderful woman who proposed to me on Blackpool Beach. And the interesting thing about that is that we were able to put in place all the things that we wanted. Not only did I gain a fantastic partner, a wife, somebody who's been there for me through thick and thin, I also gained an amazing stepson. And as those of you who've got children will know, there's nothing better than children to teach you about yourself. They're also brilliant communicators. And they're also really brilliant at acknowledging and letting you know how you feel about yourself. Because let's face it, if you spot something in somebody else, you probably have it in you. So if you're getting frustrated or you're getting annoyed, or you're thinking, why aren't they doing what I'm telling them to do? Maybe you should slightly tweak the way that you're communicating with them. And so the marriage for me over the last, getting on for 18 months, has really taught me about myself and about partnership. Now, that May, I was really fortunate to have all of my family with me. Well, all of my family bar my dad. And that's really where this bit comes into it, because 3 weeks before I got married, having, as Michael mentioned, just done that Channel 4 show, Spies, I was in the unfortunate situation of my dad having a really bad fall. And that fall ultimately ended up with him coming back home and then passing away. Now he had Parkinson's and ultimately Lewy body dementia. But it was educating myself about, one, the process that he was going through, and two, educating myself about actually it was okay to be emotional. It was okay to miss him. And I think come getting the phone call to tell me that he had passed away, for me there was actually a sense of real relief, because he had been passing away very gradually over the course of about 18 months. And then, onto this final patch. 4 weeks ago, in my bathroom, in Hither Green, which is near Lewisham, I got to meet a little girl called Megan. Now Megan was pretty keen to come into this world. It was 9:30 in the morning. It was just my wife and I in the house, in our bathroom. And she popped out like a rocket. Thankfully, into my arms. And we had just birthed a little girl. Now my wife, thankfully, is a hypnobirthing teacher, and she knows lots about birth and lots about birth education. But I'd also been doing a lot of swatting up. I felt that was useful, being a birth partner, about the process of birth, about what was going to be happening during that birth. But nothing is going to ever prepare you for seeing those eyes as they look at you for that moment in time. Those of you that are parents, I'm sure, will have experienced that. And for me, the only thing I could actually compare it to at the moment in time was it was like that overwhelm of emotion that I felt from my dad when he'd passed. Nothing can prepare you for that overwhelm of emotion. But just know that education does give you an ability to be able to step back and take stock of something. So whatever you've got going on through the process of your life, whether it's in partnerships, things ending, or new beginnings, make sure that you educate yourself, because whatever you do, you're going to be able to handle life situations. Thank you.